This is my cat, Tillo. And this is my pup, Archie. And no, they're not just normal pets because they live on this bus. That's my bus, and I've been living in this bus for 3 years. The craziest thing about these pets is they've spent their entire lives also living in this bus. So today, we're going to be talking about what it's like to have pets on a bus. So having pets in bus life was a whole new challenge that I didn't expect. So for example, we had Tillo for 2 years before we started even traveling. So we had no idea that she actually hated traveling. We'll talk about a couple things that we've done that have helped us kind of make the stressful situations for both of our pets a little bit better later on. There are so many different challenges that you won't even be able to think up until you actually run into them when you're on the road. Let's go ahead and dive into some more ways that having pets in bus life can be pretty difficult. So a couple of the huge problems that we've had, and a couple that you can expect as well if you're thinking about bus life or if you've just started. Number one, if you are actually traveling full time, don't expect to get into the vet very easily. We're here in Arizona right now, and we tried getting him in for a vet appointment a couple times. Both times, you needed to be an existing customer because they were already full of clients. What a weird thing. I did not expect to run into that. Every one of them that I called told me that I need to go to the emergency room for just a small checkup, which was really disappointing. Even beyond that though, it's a problem because you never have somebody that knows your pet. Like that's one great thing whenever you're in one place, when you're not moving all the time, you can get a really good relationship with your vet. That vet knows and expects to see that pup or that cat, so you kind of make that relationship. It's not gonna happen in bus life as long as we're traveling anyway. And I would say like the other big challenges are gonna be challenges no matter where you live. Like if you have a cat that just won't stop running out the door, that problem becomes exponentially bigger whenever you're moving to new areas all the time. And let's say that you're currently in transit at a gas station, like that happened to us, that Tillo actually jumped out of the vehicle at a gas station. There's just so many possibilities that you don't want to happen, but they're not completely controllable. So I mentioned in the beginning that Tillo hates traveling. She hates riding in any kind of vehicle, which we had no idea because the first 2 years of her life were in the bus, but the bus wasn't moving yet. So some of these challenges you just kind of have to roll with and hope that they come out okay. We've taken great lengths to try to calm her and ease her stresses of travel, which we will talk about that a little bit later on. But this is just one more challenge that you can expect with either a dog or a cat. Not all of them like to travel. So I would say that would be like the biggest difference between like having pets in bus life and then having pets in a normal home. Is like any problem that you guys have at home with your pets, we have the same problems, except they're usually exponentially worse. We have a vet emergency, like we don't even know where the nearest vet is. You probably have a vet that you go to all the time. Maybe you have a good relationship, maybe you can call them. Us, we try to get into a normal vet, it's not gonna happen, emergency only. And it looks like Archie is getting a little restless, so I think we're gonna go for a walk and let's go see if we can find Tillo, because I know she's out here roaming somewhere. She really loves going outside, so whenever we're somewhere safe, where I know that she's not gonna get eaten or something like that, I just let her out of the bus. She stays really close, but like I guarantee if I start walking Archie, if we go to the dog park, she'll be like right behind me. Archie, you wanna go outside? And look at that, I told you I wouldn't have to go far at all. I didn't expect it to be right here, but never goes too far. Sitting right on top of Archie's bed. Hi, Tiki Tiki. And then here's her little air tag. So we keep track of her just in case. Come on. So it's kind of wild, but Tillo's actually become kind of famous around the campground. In fact, she probably knows more people here than I do because she wanders around, and especially whenever I'm like walking around. But I've had a lot of conversations with people that just cannot believe that I have a cat that is walking right with us all the way to the dog park. So what she'll do is she'll walk behind us the whole way. She'll stop at the dog park and just hang out there while Archie does his business and plays with other dogs. And then when it's time to go, she just continues to follow until we're all the way home. So right now Archie has the place all to himself, which is not how he prefers it, by the way. He would much rather there be like 8 other dogs to play with. A couple more things about Archie, because I feel like this was mostly about Tillo. He does not shed. He is the sweetest dog. His favorite things in the world are kids, number one, other dogs, and then all people in general. And like, he's gotten along great with Tillo the whole time. To be honest, I did not even want a dog to begin with because it just felt like such a shift in that mindset of let's stay free, let's stay nimble. Like any day that we want to, we can just go and do something crazy. Now we did have Tillo. You can leave Tillo for a day and she'll be okay. She probably prefers that sometimes, but Archie, you cannot do that. He gets separation anxiety. He doesn't like to be separated from you for more than an hour. And here we go, we got Tillo just hanging out. This is literally what she'll do the whole time we're in here. Like, are you kidding me? Can it get any better than these two right here? Look at them. Look at them. Okay, so we've been here about 20 minutes. I think we're gonna head back. Come on, Arch. Tillo is still just right here, ready to go. You know, to be 100% honest, I thought Tillo just following me all the time was just totally normal. I thought that most cats would do that until legitimately everyone in the campground that saw her walking behind me just like lost their mind when I was like, yeah, it's just my cat. She likes to go on walks with us. Come on, Tillo. And there she is, right back to her food. So because we already had Tillo whenever we started building the bus, we had an opportunity to really customize it with something like this right here that was actually built in. And what we've got going on here is both her food and water goes on a little tray that'll slide in and out. And then we have her litter box right here, which she has a little pet door to go inside of. Then it has latches, and then it can just slide open to clean out our litter box when we need to. For Archie, again, because we didn't have a dog when we were building it, we just have his bowls sit right here. So here's some things that we did to try to make bus life with pets a little bit easier. And one of those is gonna be to just try to include your pets as part of your build so that they have their own dedicated space. But a couple other things that we do, we talked about Tillo's problem with travel earlier. One of the things that I have found that really help is Fellaway. Maybe you guys have heard about it. It's to help cats deal with stress. So it's like a pheromone, hormone. It has worked for us, I feel like. So what we'll do is we make sure we kind of spray it in that area that she really likes to go to. And then we also have a little cartridge that we'll plug in probably a day before we know we're going to travel, just so we can have like that calming pheromone in the bus to try to make it a little bit easier for her. We've noticed that since we started using that, she hasn't actually peed in the bus after traveling. The other big thing is we still have to let her out from time to time because that's just who she is. Not all cats are like that, but if we don't let her out for an extended period of time, she gets more and more stressed and starts to express that stress by trying to run away, and then when she does get out, she just completely ignores us if we've kept her in for a long time. Even if that means you have to take your cat out on a leash or something for a couple hours, that's something to think about to try to make things a little bit easier for you. Lastly, one big thing that we've done that you guys can do as well are the Apple AirTags. I don't think Apple actually designed them for pets, so just keep that in mind. It has worked for us in the past, but just know too that if you're out in the desert, it's not going to be a great way to do it because that AirTag has to come within about 100 feet of somebody with an iPhone. But there are some other solutions out there, GPS trackers, GPS collars, things like that. They can get a little bit more pricey, but for Tillo, we're considering it. And so if that's a problem that you have, you should consider it as well. Okay, so unfortunately, some things have changed since I recorded this video. We were just at Schoolypalooza. And during that time, Tillo actually did run away for the first time. She slipped out at like 11 p.m. And I did actually mention in the video that if we don't let her out very much, then she kind of gets out with a vengeance, as it were. And so that's exactly what happened. She escaped. She was gone for over a day and like a day and a half. And I was just losing my mind. I will cover that more in an upcoming vlog of Schoolypalooza. So I'm gonna get a little bit more in depth into that. We did find her, thank God, but now I can no longer say that she's never ran away. I don't know what happened. I don't know if something chased her out there, but she ended up traveling all the way from our little circle, our little campground, to about a half-mile away. Again, don't know how it happened, but we're super thankful that we had an AirTag on her because I was able to walk around with Bree's iPhone until I got close enough and it actually pinged her. So there's, I guess, a really good use case of it coming in handy. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you have a better understanding of what it's like to have pets in bus life. If you're considering it yourself, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you next week.